everyone, we are back and we are here with Rich. Now, as we were talking about earlier before the break, we're here today to talk about a neuromuscular condition called Nemaline Myopathy. Now, Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a neuromuscular condition that affects your breathing, your speech, and even I think the hallmark of it is muscle weakness. Am I right?
Yes, that's correct. It makes it harder to talk, walk, breathe, all of those things that we get for granted.
You bet. Now, for those of you out there, this is near and dear to Rich's heart because his 15-month-old son suffers from the condition. When did you first know that your son had this condition, Rich?
I first knew it when he was born. Oh, actually, when he was his first seconds of life, that's when we found out that something was wrong. And he got intubated, and you know, he had to receive cardiac massage right on my wife's belly, and he had to be all cleared up on the breathing, and he wasn't breathing strong enough. Then right after that, we got transferred to Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, where we spent close to 3 months there the first time. And on the September 10th of 2016, sorry, that's when he got diagnosed with Nemaline Myopathy.
Is that right?
Started to learn.
Now, is it, forgive me because I don't know, is that a condition that is fairly easy to diagnose? Did it take a while for them to figure out what your son had?
He did so many tests in the hospital. I remember one day I did a video of the tests that he did, and it took us like 45 seconds to go through everything.
Yes.
He did a muscle biopsy. Then after the muscle and the nerve biopsy, they kind of was getting a hint that was myopathy. And just with the genetic testing that we were able to do, because at first, like the test that the hospital do, like the normal procedure, they go from like the little things to start getting to the big things. So everything was coming out negative.
Oh, that must have been frustrating for you.
Oh, it was horrible. And
yes.
Like sometimes I love Google, sometimes I hate Google.
Right.
And I made it a pact with my wife on that time. I was like, listen, whatever, because everything is coming out negative, so whatever it is, don't Google it. Because otherwise you're gonna go crazy and thinking that it's something that is not. So, because we were getting super overwhelmed with that, so we made it a pact, like no more Googling. And we were like, let's just wait until we have a final answer. And once we have a final answer, then we can kind of Google and see
Right, yeah, because that can really be very, very stressful. So let me ask you about, you know, we were talking about your day today before we started filming today. Now, what do you struggle with your son? What is your typical day like with your son?
He has a lot of therapies. Well, first of all, he wake up, he needs to do what they call chest physical therapy, because normally, like a normal person or a standard kid, you wake up, you know, all the secretions that you're sitting down, sleeping are there, and you kind of move it normally.
Okay.
So that's what normally people do, and you don't even realize, but if you become aware of what you do in the morning, that's usually the first thing is to clear yourself up. So we have to do that for him. So we do what they call CPT.
Because he's not able to physically do it because of his muscle weakness.
Yeah, because he's weak, he doesn't cough, and he doesn't like move things around. And usually he sleeps pretty much in one spot the whole night.
I see.
So he doesn't move through the night. So that's the first thing we need to do is CPT. And then we use a machine that is called cough assist that helps you cough. Basically is plumbing, pretty much. So you put pressure in and out, and then we suction the trach. That's the first thing we need to do in the morning.
Right.
And sometimes it's stressful because depending if you have a whole lot of secretions, he can plug the trach, and you know, he doesn't breathe.
Yes.
So normally in the morning it's a little bit stressful. That's probably the first thing that we do. After that, he normally then, you know, we try to do as normal as we can, but he has normally 2 therapies a day. You know, normally he had 3 physical therapies a week, 2 occupational therapies a week, 2 speech therapies a week, and 1 development
Right.
therapy.
Yeah, I understand. Can I ask, and I can only imagine, being a mother and sympathizing for what you must be going through, all the way from when he was born until now. What impact has this had on your family? Has it brought you close together?
My
Yes.
wife and I, we were always super close together because we've been together for 10 years before
Right.
we decided to have a baby. But my family in general, like my brothers, his uncles, and we got a lot closer. That's for sure. Like on the first few months, almost everybody came to visit from Brazil.
Yes.
So to have an idea, my brothers and I, we had a family issue back in 2010, and we haven't seen each other for 6 years. And my son was able to
Bring you back together.
back together, and we saw each other for the first time in 6 years after he was born. So it brought the whole family a
Together.
lot closer together.
Well, that definitely is a positive thing that has come out of it. And
Well, from him,
yes,
everything I got from my son until today, it's been positive.
yes. And you know what?